Hello everyone, and one of the things I've been doing the past week when I haven't been posting videos is discussing the work of Doctor of Forensic Psychology, Dr. Katherine Ramsland, who has been studying BTK for the past 10 years. And in light of some things that have gone on in the Delphi case, some similarities and parallels, I really think after watching this 3-hour documentary called BTK, Confession of a Serial Killer documentary, that there are a lot of parallels between BTK's behavior and Bridge Guy's behavior, whether you believe that's Richard Allen or someone else. And I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to play some clips from this and then discuss a few things. But I just want to start off with this here at the 30:24 mark, and I'll try to put links in the description to this and everything as well. So here we go to 30:24.
All he's thinking about is he's picked them, he has a limited time frame in which to act, and now he must complete the plan. What we do know about psychopathic killers is that they tend to over-focus. So it's as if they're a train on a track that is not going to stop till it gets to its goal, no matter what.
What I find interesting is during this documentary, Dr. Ramsland also talks about how if you commit a crime that's real heinous, like happened in the Delphi case, in broad daylight specifically, daylight, according to her, often suggests premeditation of some kind. Because to commit a crime in broad daylight like that, generally you're going to have some sort of plan for fear of being seen. So she argues that it strongly suggests premeditation. So that's something I think we can learn about the Delphi case from that and from BTK as well. Similarly, Richard Allen, if he is Bridge Guy, and again, he's innocent until proven guilty, but if he is, the other similarity we have is he has a marriage that seems happy. He had a daughter that was growing up in their household. And again, BTK was married. He lived in a just plain midwestern community. And he also had a daughter as well, and just kind of hiding in plain sight, like they allege Richard Allen was. Just some interesting parallels the more I discuss these cases. And I'm going to play another clip here for you. Sometimes it's hard to stop on exactly where I want to. I apologize. So here we go at about 47:16.
I looked at that and I said, whoa, that's pretty close to the way I look.
One of the things Rader said to me was that he always had bad luck with his crimes because something always seemed to go wrong. And he always felt as if he were the victim. And it's because he sees his world from his point of view and no one else matters. Clearly, he has not thought of his victims as human beings at all. They belong to him and they're supposed to behave according to his fantasies. And when they don't, he's the victim in his mind.
Could that be what triggered Bridge Guy? He looks at himself as the victim when he gets rejected or when he approaches the girls on the bridge, and he tries to project his power and anger. And that power and that anger and that control are met with resistance by Abby and Libby, which thus, in his weird mind, or Bridge Guy's weird mind, justifies his kind of anger and his kind of control in the first place. And it's like a vicious cycle. It's like adrenaline to some of these killers. And again, I think that's part of the thrill to whoever Bridge Guy was, trying to do this and get away with it in broad daylight and corralling more than one girl. There was something about that, if they study this person further, whether it's Bridge Guy as Richard Allen or someone else, that I think we could learn from in this situation. And the other thing that the doctor Katherine Ramsland talks about is something called paraphilia, which is basically abnormal desires, and fulfilling those abnormal desires in extreme or dangerous sorts of situations. And again, that's part of the thrill, which would be broad daylight, multiple girls, 60 feet above a bridge. And let's see what she talks about when she discusses that here.
This cements the paraphilia. A paraphilia is a trigger to arousal that is considered to be deviant, sometimes to the point where they can't get aroused in a normal way at all.
Over time, you start to need more to stimulate yourself, more to get excited.
I think that when the Richard Allen case goes to trial, it's going to be fascinating to find out if they found things in his home that were deviant behavior or suggested deviant behavior, or if they found things in his internet searches, or if they found things on his laptop or his computer at home. Make no mistake that whoever did this, again, whether it's Allen or someone else, it seems really planned this sort of thing out ahead of time. Now, I don't know if that was facilitated by somebody like Kagan Klein, or if Bridge Guy or Allen or somebody was out there on the bridge that day, and it was just a complete coincidence that Klein was talking to them, which still remains a possibility, even though I, and apparently police, don't necessarily believe that. So, the last thing I'm going to play here, at the 157.07 mark, it just kind of talks about the arrogance of somebody to do something like this, or, again, the arrogance of the Delphi case.
By the time police got to Vicki Wegerly's house on West 13th, her heart had already stopped beating. She died within 15 minutes at Riverside Hospital. Her husband, Bill, supposedly found Vicki with a noose around her neck.
Whenever Raiders targeted someone, the callousness just sets in. And anything that that particular victim is associated with goes along with it. It's really striking to me that Rader, as a family man, has absolutely no concern about young children in a home where he has targeted a victim.
Doesn't that sound familiar, everybody? Somebody living in the middle of Delphi as a family man, has his own child. Very, very, very similar to Dennis Rader. This could have been Bridge Guy's first time out there. It could have been his second, his 15th. We don't know. Let's just hope that investigators get to the bottom of it, because I think they can learn an awful lot from the BTK killer, and I hope they're still speaking with him to try and gain insight to Bridge Guy's behavior. Thanks for watching, everyone.